Yo, what's up, fam? Welcome to the very first highly anticipated episode of Cash Flow and Chill, where we talk about success, failure, and everything in between. Come chill with us as we share stories, laughs, and business gems. I'm your host, Matthew, and I'm joined by my co-host, Maryjean. If you've ever felt like success was only for the people with perfect credit, rich parents, or a motivational playlist in their bloodstream, this podcast is for you. Because around here, we're building real wealth, having real combos, and doing it with good vibes. So let's get it.
And our mission here at Cash Flow and Chill is pretty simple. It's build wealth, create balanced family life, and then a future that you're proud of. All while keeping things chill and relatable. Whether you're here to learn, grow, or just get inspired, you're definitely in the right place.
So a little bit about me. I'm Matthew, a serial business owner, real estate investor, and walking proof that you can go from rock bottom to financially free without selling your soul, your kidney, or your grandma's wedding ring. I built businesses, lost businesses, and built them back even stronger. I've made dumb mistakes, learned expensive lessons, and realized that the only thing more powerful than cash flow is knowing how to control it. And that's what this podcast is all about. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk mindset. And we're definitely going to talk about the dumb stuff that I did.
And a little bit we'll talk about, like, for me is, a single mom at 17, raising a child by on her own, working 3 jobs, to now owning and operating 3 different businesses and all the stuff in between, how to balance mom, wife, business owner, entrepreneur, friendship, like all the stuff that goes into it on a woman's perspective. And it's wild. You literally, I'm going to give out all the real raw information of kind of what it's like to be a woman in this space, and you don't want to miss it.
Love it. Yeah. Maryjean is such a great resource. And she really truly offers a unique perspective. And just being 2 entrepreneurs that are doing it at a high level and we're consistently, growing and expanding, we really can be a wealth of knowledge and really helpful for those out there. So let me break this down real quick. Cash Flow and Chill is about building freedom. It's about creating income that doesn't require you to punch a clock or pretend like you like your boss. It's about learning the skills, the tools, and the mindset to take control of your money and your life. So here's what you can expect. Real estate hacks you've probably never heard before, and credit game tips that don't require selling your soul to a bank, and how to build businesses that don't just suck the life out of you, and real combos about the hard stuff, burnout, fear, relationships, failure. We'll have some interviews, some rants, some deep dives, and a whole lot of laughing at our own trauma. Because why cry when you can monetize it?
Yes. And it is so cool, the different perspectives you guys will see here, to be a dad and then to be a mom, and to see someone, we both had businesses that didn't work. We've lost a lot, but we also gained a lot. And we do not come from rich entrepreneur families, And it's funny because if you think about your life as like a younger adolescent, right, or like a child, we were labeled, and most entrepreneurs were labeled, the bad children. We didn't want to listen. We wanted to do what we wanted to do. We didn't get the best of grades. We weren't bad, but we weren't straight A students. We hardly paid attention. We did what we wanted to do. And if we didn't like our boss, we just left our job.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing as an entrepreneur and a business owner. A lot of times I get stuck when I'm talking like with staff and whatnot. I put my mind in their mind. And that's another thing we'll dive deep into later, but that's probably like a huge thing that goes on in this entrepreneur journey for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could definitely relate with just walking out of jobs because I just didn't like the boss or the job, or just didn't really realize what I got myself into. So
Yeah.
I could definitely relate. We're definitely going to share all that stuff. We're going to share the raw, uncut, behind the scenes stuff, as well as give you the raw, uncut side of business, because it's not all just sunshine and rainbows. It's very stressful and demanding at times. But I think I can speak for both of us when I say, we wouldn't change it for the world.
No, there's nothing better than we kind of get to pick and choose, right? Like I was just telling you, I pulled up to the gym today. I was like, I don't feel like working out. I'm going to go get a pedicure, instead of, I pulled up to work today. I don't want to go in, but I got to go in.
Right.
The freedom that this brings is just, it's sometimes even hard to put into words and to think wow, this is my life.
Right.
But we are not even anywhere where we want to be yet. Looking at the outside looking in, to some of you it may look like whoa, but to us we're we don't feel like we've even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely 100% agree. And I get that all the time. Like sometimes I'll have that imposter syndrome where I just think like, why would anybody want to listen to me? Like I'm not like a mega millionaire or something like that. I'm not like some online guru or something. But I'm not really
Not
understanding that.
yet.
Right? Not yet. Not yet. Great point. But sometimes I just lose track of that. Hey, even though I'm aiming for a level 100, being that I'm on level 25, I can still help a lot of people that are, beneath me on that journey. And that's not saying that I'm above anybody. It just means, hey, I'm a little bit further along. So when I'm on level 25 and you're on level 1 or 2, you can get a lot of insight and value, and I can really help, show you what to watch out for, what to look forward to, and bring you along with me.
And Munson is a wealth of knowledge. He's probably the closest person to me that I know that has invested so much time and money into him learning. Like he's always learning, he's always getting more information, and he's investing in himself. So like I would stay close to Munson and listen to a lot of what he has to say, because he's got a lot of knowledge up in that brain of his.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I
Yes.
truly do. I truly do love learning. And I love just expanding my knowledge. Not only for myself, but I know that I could pass that down to my children. I can share it with people like Maryjean and everybody else. All our listeners. So, it truly is my mission to go out and change lives and give the people the information that I never had when I was little. Because maybe it would have changed my path and my trajectory a little bit, or at least I would have made some of those mistakes a little bit less.
Or a little smarter.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was a knucklehead, so
Yes. Yeah, and
awesome.
I think a lot of that kind of builds us into, like the stuff we went through, right? Back in the day. You almost have, I just listened to something today. It's like not one person that I know that is an entrepreneur that came from nothing didn't go through some shit. Excuse my language. And I think entrepreneurship is, you have to have tough skin. You have to go through some stuff and be able to keep, like, literally get kicked in your teeth, beat up a little bit, and then get back up tomorrow. I mean, even if you wait like a day to get up, it's okay, a day or two, but don't stay down too long. That's what I always tell myself when I'm going through it.
Oh, yeah. And every day is you're putting out fires, so as good as the freedom is and stuff like that, and as much as we praise that, and that's what we do it for. Honestly, there's a lot of fires that need to be put out every single day, and that's your job as the entrepreneur. And myself, I kind of get a little bit of kick out of it. I like solving problems. I like being able to overcome those difficult situations quickly and efficiently. So it's something that I really do enjoy, and it's something that I never really got to do in the employee space. So I love that aspect of it as well.
Yeah. And actually, that tip you gave me about the staff and their clocking in, clocking out, I put that rule in force. Not one issue.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And then I'm thinking, I don't know if this is legal, but we're going to say it anyway. Literally, though, not one issue.
That's
I
amazing.
told them, I took your advice. I used it. I let them know this is what it will be. And I'm not changing anything. When it's time to do payroll, I'm doing it based off the numbers on the system.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
amazing
different.
when you start implementing those rules and stuff like that, how people can get in line and stuff like that. And a lot of people just really need that extra structure, because they may have came from an employer that really didn't have any, or just be in a position where they're not exactly self-motivated to do those things. So I'm super glad that that's working out for you. I know that that was really kind of stressing you out there for a moment. So so happy that that actually turned out right for you. So look, we started this podcast because honestly, I was tired of all the fake flexing online. You see that guy in front of the rented Lambo selling you a course, and you're like, dude, there's a Hertz license plates on that thing. So we really wanted to create a space for real people who are building, learning, failing forward, and just figuring it out, just like we did. This is for the underdogs, the single moms, the single fathers, the 9 to 5ers who dream big, the side hustlers who are still delivering DoorDash and listen to the podcast. This is for you.
Yeah. I just got goosebumps as you said that. This is literally like, I say it all the time, and I know Mun does as well. Like, we don't know everything. We're still learning, we're still growing, we're still figuring it out. But like, we wish we would have had people like us as we started, because there's a lot of people out there. And some of them have it all together, but there's also some that pretend, that put out the lies, that aren't 100% honest with how things are, and they only give out the good, and like in their journey and what's going on, but they totally forget the to share the raw, real, everyday lives of what actually goes on, in entrepreneurship. and they make it look so easy. And then when people start going on this journey and they start having to put out all those fires, they're like, oh God, I'm failing. And then they stop. But no, that is all part of the process. And that's exactly why we started something like this. So, you guys can learn and listen from real people.
Yeah. And we're gonna give you the game. Like I said, we're not gonna hold anything back. Me and Maryjean, we've been through some shit. Like seriously, like we've been through a lot. We've overcame a lot. So this road hasn't been easy. It's so easy to look at those highlight reels on like Instagram and stuff like that on social media and just see the wins and see the successes, but you really don't see the road to get there. And that's why we really wanted to create this. So, hey, we're not perfect. We're still growing. We're still learning every single day. But the thing that separates us from a lot of people is that we're just consistent. We don't have to learn everything and know every single little detail about something to get moving forward. And that's why we stumble to the finish line, but we finish. And that's the thing that really separates us. And also our ability to take action. So you can learn all this information and do nothing with it and still be in the same place. But if you take the information, you apply it, and then you come back for, little subtle tweaks that can kind of help you out, that's what it's all about. And just like MJ was just sharing, she had a little bit of problem. We kind of talked over some possible solutions. She implemented one of them and it's been working great for her. So it's just a testament to, you know, learning things, not being afraid to ask for help, not being afraid to ask questions, not being afraid to say, oh man, I think this may be a dumb question. Well, listen, the only dumb thing would be is to sit around and let your business suffer because you didn't speak up. We're here to help. We're here to help each other. We do on a regular basis. So I'm just glad to be with you, MJ, and be able to share all this knowledge.
Yeah, I'm like forever grateful for all the tips, tricks, knowledge, time you kind of invested in me to help me along on this journey. We will dive deep into all of that. We could literally go on for hours, but again, Mun is a great, I'm super blessed and lucky to have him and then to be doing something like this with you. Like we've talked about this for a while. We're finally getting to it and it's super exciting. Like you guys, we can't wait to like share everything with you guys.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I really am. And before we wrap this thing up, this is going to be one of the shorter episodes. We're going to really be trying to aim for a little bit more long form stuff here so that we can really dive deep into it. But we just wanted to kind of get that little introduction out of the way, kind of let you guys know what to kind of expect, what could be, coming up in store. We're going to be having some guests on, some industry experts, some people that you guys maybe look up to, authors, everything like that. We're going to be bring so many resources here that it's just going to provide immense amount of value. Here's what's coming up next, a Cash Flow and Chill, and this is what you can expect. We're diving deep into our stories. In the next couple episodes, you're going to hear the real story behind how I went from rock bottom and flat broke to building businesses, buying property, and actually being able to take a deep breath for the first time. Then we're flipping the mic to Maryjean, and her story is wild, inspiring, hilarious, and raw as hell. You're not going to want to miss this one. Spoiler alert. She's the type of person who can talk about trauma and have you laughing so hard you forget you're crying.
Literally, my life has been crazy the last few years up until like probably just recently. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, but the real raw, I keep saying that, but I've always prided myself on that. How I went from, married at 17 with a baby, separated, divorced a few months later, raising a child by myself, working the 3 jobs, having more kids, going back to school, always being told I'd be a great, leader. I'd be wonderful to run this operation, but never, push towards the entrepreneurship, just always working for someone else. Told I should stay at a job my entire life, told I should just be a mom and stay home and take care of the kids and, just all of that, my story from over the last few years.
And to touch on that, I think you really brought up a great point about how people kind of, just
Yes.
project, their beliefs on you, and if they don't think that they could have done something or could have went somewhere, they kind of project that on you. I mean, so many people always told me, hey man, you're a smart guy, but you're using your intelligence for all the wrong things. But what they failed to mention was, well, what are the right things? So you keep
Right.
telling me I'm doing wrong, well, show me the right way. And there was never anybody there to really kind of help guide me. So, it's like, at the end of the day, I did make my own decisions and I take full responsibility for that. But just having a little bit of guidance would have definitely helped me and giving it a different perspective. That's why we're so passionate about helping people, because then you don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse. Hey, I didn't know, or I didn't realize there's people around that would, that could do this or help me out here. So this is killing all those excuses. You jump on these things, you're going to be able to learn from us, to learn with us, to fail with us, to learn from all our mistakes so that you don't make those and really become, successful, and hopefully be that one that turns your entire generation around.
To touch on that a little bit more, when you mentioned, they've always projected their thoughts and beliefs on us, and they never, their minds usually, most people that believe and think that way, their minds are kind of set that way. And my father's a great one. My mom was as well. My mom didn't work. She raised kids, and she was a wife and a mother. My dad was a 9 to 5, go to factory, work at the same job his entire life and retire from there. And now he's living at 65. And it's like, we didn't have people like
Right.
us growing up, and we were, again, labeled the bad kids, the kids that didn't want to listen, wanted to do what they wanted to do. And, things like that.
Oh yeah, and I'm no stranger to the trouble, and you're gonna hear about it a little bit more in depth when, on the next episode when I go over my story. But I literally, when I say rock bottom, I was literally in a prison cell in solitary confinement all by myself. We weren't allowed any kind of like books or TV or mail or anything like that, so it was very isolated. So I literally came from rock bottom, having nothing, not even a mattress in my room at that time. So really, just coming from nothing, but never giving up. Just realizing, all right, cool, this is happening, but what can I do about it except, just keep moving one day at a time. And, that strength and that resilience has really kind of pushed me through obstacles that I've had in entrepreneurship, because it hasn't been easy, but it's definitely been worth it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world.
I have 4 kids, and they're all very young, and they literally have my personality. And I think back to, if my parents thought a little bit differently, or maybe they did and just didn't have people to, help them explore. But like, I think back to, I look at my kids, and they are me, right? But I know how to, I can see it, like, especially on my daughter. Like, she's got, most people would probably think she's bossy. She doesn't listen. She wants to do what she wants to do. She's going to do what she wants to do. No amount of discipline will get her to listen. Like, she is such a little mini me. And like, I'm glad I can see that, because I think I'm almost positive, I think if I was probably pushed a different way growing up, I probably wouldn't have did a lot of the things that I did. Same with you. And I think that's the best part about all of this, is we know, and we can push that on to our kids. And even if they don't want to do it, I have a son that I don't think will be an entrepreneur. I think he's going to be a president, maybe, or a doctor or scientist or something. And that's super cool too. But, just being able to have that knowledge that I can pass on to the children and pick up on things.
Yeah, and that's such a great point about really living out to that expectation that people have for you. When I was growing up, everybody just told me I was going to be like my dad, and unfortunately, my dad was a career criminal, so was like him for a while. But luckily, my kids came and they saved me, and that's what I do all this for. That's why I want the freedom. That's why I want to create that legacy is for them. I heard a great quote, and it really changed my life. And it's not your fault if you're born poor, but it is your fault if you die poor. And that really resonated with me, and it just really gave me that ammo and that spark that I needed to say, hey, you know what? Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's going to come save you, man. It's up to you. Like, you just got to get to work. So that's exactly what I did. And I just keep going. So I'm super blessed to be in this position, super blessed to be able to make it out of where I came from, and to be here now, and having all these great conversations with you, MJ, and with all the other people and all the other people that I've helped.
Yes. Yes. We are so excited, guys, to share all this with you, and yeah, to laugh. I may cry a few times. I don't know yet, but through some trauma, like, even just, loss of
Oh yeah.
people, loss of friendships. I just had that conversation with Justin the other day about trying not to mix friendship with business, because I think back to a lot of friendships that have been ruined over business, but that's just mostly because, people don't know how to not take stuff personal in the business relationship. Because, like, when we're building this, like, nothing, and I don't want to speak for you, but like, nothing will get in my way of what I've created for my kids.
Exactly. I'm definitely the same way. It's just like that old saying you always used to hear, it's not personal, it's just business. And I think that really resonates, and I really feel that now, because it's just, hey, you're either coming with me or I gotta leave you behind. And it's nothing personal. I still love you. I still want you to win. I still want you to succeed.
Right.
But unfortunately, you just can't eat at my table right now, because where I'm going, it requires a certain level of sacrifice. And if you're not willing to do that, or if you're not willing to like get in line and work alongside of me, then I just have to keep moving, because
Right.
the train can't stop because you're not ready.
Yes, 100%. Well, we will dive all deep into that in the next few episodes. I hope you enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, that's a wrap for episode 1 of Cash Flow and Chill. If you vibe with this, and if you laughed even once, do your boy a favor, hit that follow button. Also, YouTube thinks we're important, and share this with someone who needs it. Your broke cousin, your business partner, your ex who's still DMing you those pyramid schemes. And then you can follow us on our socials for daily tips, updates. And also remember, success isn't just about stacking money. It's about stacking peace, stacking freedom, and just stacking those days where you wake up and actually love your life. So let's continue to build that cash flow, protect your energy, and chill. Catch y'all next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
I like it.